the Sign of the Times, episode 147, from this undisclosed little bridge with that body of water that's trickling along, and the graffiti, and that graffiti, and that little tiny body of water that QT would not drown in, because even if he laid down, I don't think it'd be enough to drown him. So today, HPW, of course, as usual, at the HPW arena, the arena I named, and also happening, that man, superstar TJ Powers, wrestling his last match, sadly enough. If you look closely, there I am next to TJ Powers on official merchandise. Right next to TJ, where I've been the majority of my career. Man, words cannot express the thanks I have for TJ Powers. If not for TJ, there would be no Sign Guy. Along with Dice. I did not forget you, Dice. Didn't forget you, but you know, it's TJ's big day. Retirement. You know, wrestling retirement, you know. But there's people that love the snaps, and there's a bunch. A pamphlet, because the Sign of the Times needs a pamphlet. The Twitter where you can follow me, but not literally. And you can send me tweets like Buddy Highway does sometimes. Sometimes he does, because he gets tape. He's like, "Who has tape?" I'm like, "Have I ever forgot your tape?" Once. He's like, "No, I forgot." Because apparently, real easy to forget when you get a roll of tape every show for like years. And you're like, "I wonder if there's any tape around." And then, you know, boom, there it is, because you get it every show. The Facebook, the YouTube, which you might be watching right now. Right about now. You could also on the YouTube watch when I refereed for Jessie Bell versus Hardcore Heather Owens. It was a tremendous match where you could go back, watch past the Sign of the Times, like episode 63. That was a good episode. Comic book of Team IOU. Boy and his dog, a dog and his boy. Hopefully they'll never change that. Autographed picture of Seymour Snot, whom today is a gouge, or was a gouge, because the show's probably over unless it's really long. Like WC TV taping times 2 long. Which would be brutal. And also a gouge today, Kacee Carlisle, whom I love. Hopefully, since it is gouge, they had Hot Nurse Kacee come to the ring. Because it is gimmicks only underground grappling entertainment. What better gimmick than a Hot Nurse Kacee? She could knock out her opponent and then apply CPR. Or she could come out with a giant title belt and use that as a weapon. That'd be gimmicky. Or Hot Nurse's college outfit Kacee. Imagine her like choking her opponent for the second time and saying, "Oops, I did it again." There she is in smaller form. I don't know how she'd work that. But she could use the pillow. She could be like Pillow Top Kacee. That's what they would call her. Or she could be angry, but I don't know if that's a gimmick. But there she is with Team Bad Knees. Speaking of which, Team Bad Knees at ICW today. Hopefully, Troy Miller got the upper hand in his title defense. But even if he ran into problems with his opponent can't sue him because he doesn't have a leg to stand on. He really doesn't. So, this week it's a busy week. Besides TJ retiring and me drying the tears, because he keeps pointing out it's his last match, and I just tear up all over again. Thanks, TJ. And on Sunday, Nyla Rose. And hopefully the American football will not prevent my women's expert from helping us out with Nyla Rose, the native beast. Not to be confused with Dave the Beast Barnett, although maybe they're distant cousins. Maybe QT will ask that on Monday. Oh, we have Kinsey Alexander and Anthony Totelli, because last Friday there were all kinds of shenanigans. We lost a guest, we gained 2 guests, and then Portland, Oregon's Wi-Fi system blew the whole show. I had no guests. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was ridiculous. But Kinsey and Anthony will be on Monday. Maybe Karen Alexander will call in and he'll be like, I'm still mad at you. And Kinsey will be like, why? He's like, because you quit ballet for this guy. And she'll be like, why? And he's like, because you did. And she'll be like, why? And he'll be like, I don't know why. I've been asking myself that question every day for months. And she'll be like, why? And he'll be like, because I haven't got the answer. And she'll be like, why? And he's like, because I haven't figured it out yet. It could go on for days. Tuesday, the lounge, Stevie Jonak and the host of the lounge, George Mack, of course, aka the George Mack Show, getting Rockabilly Dean Logan, who was throwing out that maybe Kane James, who became the youngest DCW Tag Team Champion in history when he won the title with his old man, DeMarcus, would be on. He will not, but Rockabilly Dean Logan will be. Hopefully Stevie will ask him about those red pants he was wearing in the Battle Royal on Friday, because if she doesn't, George Mack should just toss her. Just toss her. Wednesday, looking free, because Ricky Ruckus is never going to interview that cat. Never going to happen. He tells me he is, then he doesn't. It's hugely disappointing. Hugely disappointing. Thursday, maybe Thursday we will bring the heat. We were supposed to bring the heat last week. Everyone bailed out the whole week. Had a set week. Almost nothing happened that way. When Debashi's like the guy that like follows through seamlessly without prompt, that tells you it was chaotic all week. But we're supposed to bring the heat next week. Probably Von Hess will be Von Hessing. Maybe someone from Alaska will call in and do their Von Hess impersonation, because I would love to hear that. Friday next week, Mistress Burgundy, one half of the Amazing Mistresses, one of my favorite Kentucky-based sports entertainer females, my women's expert, Indisposed. She will be at Resistance Pro Wrestling, perhaps challenging Mickey Knuckles. I don't know. I'm not sure what her plans are that day, but I will have Mistress Burgundy on. So to review, QT can't drown in that body of water because it's way too shallow, but not shallow enough that they didn't have a lack of a need of this bridge, because they did build the bridge. Tiny as it is, they did build this bridge, and then someone just spray painted that. I'm not sure why, but they did. And then that, I'm leaning towards it being QT because it looks like his handwriting. On Sunday, Nyla Rose. Hopefully QT will ask, how did it feel to get in the ring with Kacee Carlisle, whom I have a Mr. Burns Smithers relationship with? Or maybe he will ask Nyla Rose if she is related to Playboy Buddy Rose. But instead he will probably ask track and field trivia questions from 1963. On Monday, Kinsey and Anthony will be on. Possibly Karen will call in to ask questions. I don't know. They're a misguided, lots of hurt feeling trifecta there. We'll see what happens. But hopefully there will be no shenanigans with the switchboard, because last Friday there was, and it was terrible. It was terrible. Wi-Fi in Portland, not the best idea. On Tuesday, the George Mack Show, or if you prefer the lounge, Rockabilly Dean Logan going to be on. Should be tremendous. Wednesday, kind of looking free, because Ricky Ruckus is never going to interview that cat. He's just going to promise and promise and promise, and then just, yeah, I'm not going to be home. I forgot. Pretending I'm Donnie Idol. Whatever it is he says. Excuse. On Thursday, probably will be bringing the heat. On Friday, Mistress Burgundy. If you're not familiar with her, shame on you. You should be. You really, really should. So, pretty much from this undisclosed tiny little bridge with a really shallow body of water to step over, and not need a bridge, but there is one. for your convenience, apparently. 147.